say hello to the Mustang. So this Mustang isn't any ordinary Mustang. It is a Shelby GT500. Unlike the other Mustangs, which is normal aspirated 5 liter, this is a 5.2 liter supercharged. And believe it or not, this car has got amazing power. I'm just gonna talk out of perspective now, but I know a lot of people are actually saying that the new Mustang is overpriced for its performance, but that is because that is not the Shelby. This is a different monster all by itself. So let's quickly go over all the upgrades I've done to the car. So just to inform you guys is that what I'm doing on the channel now is I am actually tuning the stock standard motor. If you want to see engine conversion on this car and you want a proper tune for it, let me know in the comments below. I'll have that video out for you within a week. So going over the conversions, engine swap, as you guys can see here, it is the it's actually, I know it says 5.7 here is because I've already bored the block, but this is the 5.2 liter. So I did actually had the V12 in it. It was pretty darn good. But nevertheless, we're going to go over to drivetrain. We kept this car at rear wheel drive. Going over to the aspiration, we dropped in twin turbo. So just to show you guys, if we go to the stock standard one, here you can see stock is positive displacement supercharger. So that shows you that turbos is giving you 141 extra kilowatt. Now I'm just kidding, but nevertheless, we have placed in twin turbos. Going over the engine, we have nearly, if I'm not mistaken, upgraded everything to max. So there's the raised valves, the raised cams, the raised exhaust, and here you can see that originally this is a 5.2 liter, but because we bored it bigger, it's 5.7 now. Going over the pistons, here we've got the raised, intercooler is raised, flywheel is also raised, and here is the thing. The oil coolers. So I always stop here in all my videos because the oil coolers are usually giving you very little power gains compared to weight. So as you can see here, we are actually getting 6 kilowatt with this install, but we are losing, well, we are adding how much weight? About 8 kilograms. So I just decided, let me do it nevertheless. So there we go. We're gonna quickly go over to the handling area. For the brakes is at max. The suspension is rally such as always. For the handling, we've got anti-roll bars on race, and then and then anti-roll bars at the rear as well for race. We did not put on any roll cage because that just adds weight. Going over to the weight reduction, right over here, we have got the biggest weight installed, and that's saving us a whopping 336 kilograms. That is insane. Going over the drivetrain, we've got race clutch. For the transmission, we place in the 6-speed. Do note that this is also the race transmission, but this one over here that says 6-speed is a 6-speed. This one over here is 7, and then we go with 8, 9, and 10. So this car, because of all the power it has, it doesn't like to shift too much. Going over differential, we've got race differential. For the tires, obviously we've got drag slicks. For the front tires, because this car is rear wheel drive, we didn't change the size of the front wheels, but we put on the biggest brothers at the back. Going over to the mag size, you can put any mag on, just make sure it's the lightest mag. For the rim size, I would really recommend you not to adjust this because it's just going to add weight. So here for the front, I just like it being flush. So you guys can see it's cambered, but we're going to run over the tune now. So I would just like only get it to be flush. This looks horrible. So that's why I kept it at the minimum. You're at the back just to keep it flush with the body. It's a little bit sticking out, but that's okay. It's not too bad. So yeah. Anyway, let's quickly go over to the aerodynamics. We didn't install anything over here, but I must say, if I'm not mistaken, the rear wing is adjustable. Ooh, this doesn't look too bad either. So yeah, just to show you guys that here you can see it's installed, which is the stock rear wing, but it is adjustable. So let's quickly head back to the tune. So for the tire pressure, because this car is rear wheel drive, we have got the rear tire pressure at 1. This allows more traction because it creates more drag from being that flat. And for the front, we want less drag, so that's why we pumped it up all the way. And obviously, the higher the tire pressure is, the better it helps with top end stability as well. So for the gearing, here it is. So the second gear on this car was a disaster. You would literally go from first, you'll hit boost, you'll hit second gear, spin second, and have to shift immediately to third gear as well. So I technically, as you guys can see in this graph over here, you can see the second gear. So this is first gear, second gear. Look at the second gear, the distance in between. And then look at 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's very short in between. So I just want to tell you guys that I did actually try to stretch out second gear more. You guys will see that second gear still has got like a small squeak of spin. But as soon as you stretch it more to avoid that spin, you are doing worse times. So it's better to keep it just like this. So yeah, here is the entire gear ratio tune. You guys can just print screen or take a screenshot or whatsoever. Don't worry, I'll drop a share code for you guys in the comments and in the description as well. So for the camber, the front camber is at 5 degrees positive. Reason being is that because we don't have any power going to the front wheels, we want to make sure that we only just drive on as little wheels in the front as possible. This is going to create less drag and better times. So for the rear, we have got it at 1 degree. So I know in the I'm going to tell you guys now that if you want to understand camber better, I'll drop for you guys a card in the top right corner. You guys can just go and check it out where I explain it. But I have to tell you guys something that I've done differently on this car. You guys will see that the first gear doesn't spin on this car. It has got like the smallest tweet, but that's it. So I'm really impressed with this car's traction. But the problem was the second gear. So obviously your first gear will have a bigger G-force than your second gear, especially if your second gear is spinning. So now what I did was, your rear camber, as you guys can see, is positive cambered by 1. When you accelerate, your nose lifts up, all the way it goes to the back and press down on your back suspension. So that's going to cause a positive camber to go into a negative. So for the second gear, as soon as I hit second gear, the car span. So what I did was, obviously because the G-force is a little bit less, I tried to get my camber a bit more flush in between first gear and second gear. So meaning that when I pull away in first gear, it actually goes pretty far in a minus. But as soon as I go to second gear, it's almost to 0 because I'm actually trying to get more traction in second gear. I know it sounds stupid. You guys will understand once you try it out. So here for the angle, we have got it at 7 and toe 0. Anti-roll bars, stiff on both. We don't want any chassis movement or whatsoever. So for the springs, we want the front springs to be extremely soft. For the rear, almost about 60% stiff. This car isn't really too concerned about the rear end stiffness. You can take it up a bit, but I really try to keep it a bit more to the softer side than usual, just to make sure we can get more weight to the back for that second gear spin. So for the ride height, this car likes to be pretty low. Here it is. Always the rear must be up a little bit higher than the front, because as soon as your nose lifts up from acceleration, it will technically balance out with the rear. If the rear and the front was the same, your rear will go very darn low while your front is just sticking up in the air. You're gonna look like the Titanic that's sinking or something. So going over to the rebound and bump stiffness, as you guys can see, your rebound front and your bump rear is on minimum, and your rebound rear and your bump front is on stiff. So they work vice versa, front, rear and front. So for your aerodynamics, I've turned this one all the way down for that rear wing. For some reason, earlier when I checked it out, for some reason it improved the time if I actually took it up from my 0 to 100, which didn't make any sense. Because you're not really reaching that speed where the downforce is going to help you a bunch. But nevertheless, even if your time is different here, I could have sworn it was 1.3 something, but when I came back in, it changed. So you can never really rely on these figures of a year. Even if yours is better, it doesn't necessarily mean that your car is faster than mine. But also, this tune is just a basic tune. It's just to help you get out there doing some good times, proper times, and you can always improve on it. So for the brakes, our brake balance is 50%, and for the braking force, it is 80%. The big mind behind braking is just to make sure while you're braking, your wheels doesn't lock up and slide, because then you're actually gonna travel much further than if it wasn't locking up. So you can just play around with it. I just took it down to 80%. And for the differential, we got 100% and 0. So let's quickly go to the road and do our 400 meters, sorry. Preferably, I don't like to race or do my times at night, because you do intend to spin a lot. Like, look here in front of us. Oh my gosh. So when you do actually try this in daytime, the road will be hotter, your wheels will be hotter, you'll have more traction. So in daytime, you don't have to do a burnout, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna do a burnout, just to get the wheels a little bit hotter than usual. I think, let's quickly, oh, we nearly wanted to lift there. Okay, so the traction is about fine, let's just align it straight. There we go. So with this car, you can actually use launch control, 4K, 3K, or where we're gonna launch at 2K. So let's hope the traction is gonna be okay. Just to inform you, the first gear we are gonna limit it a bit, but by limiting it, it's gonna help to spin less on your second gear. Your second gear will actually strike to think you should shift again, but it will drop a little bit. So let's try it out at night and see what the results are. That wasn't bad at all. Come on. Oh, 269. That sucks. My base was almost 271. I think let's do it again. We gotta end this in a 270. Come on, make me proud. That was a bit of a short second gear shift. There we go, 270.27 I think it was, but nevertheless that was really, really good. So let's quickly head over to our drag race and kick some butt. Hold on, maybe we can do a drag race like this. Okay, let's see how this car performs. Come on. Oh my gosh, that car is so quick. Can we catch it though? Oh my word. Oh, he slowed down. You slowed down too early, buddy. I think we might have actually stood a chance against him. Let's see if he's willing to go again. Yeah, there we go. I think also he had a pretty good launch compared to me. I think it's also Quattro. Yeah, it's driving an Audi. Ah, I cheated! But now we'll see what's about to happen. Win is win, buddy, even if you cheat or not. I just left it a bit too early. Okay, there we go. I lit off. But damn, I love the people that is willing to drag race like that. That is so cool. I mean, should I even show you guys another drag race? I think let's quickly go and do another drag race. We have done it in all the videos. We should probably do it now as well. There we go. Okay, sorry, amigo. I'll see you now. Let's quickly run over difficulty. So for the difficulty, we're at, let's try unbeatable. We got traction off, stability off, manual with clutch. So I do gotta let you guys know that the car is gonna spin a lot in first gear because we can't use launch control here. If it is spinning too much for you, you can just work a bit on the camber for your first gear. Also make your first gear a bit longer. So anyway, let's send it and see. Come on! I don't hope I short shifted the first gear. I think I might have. Oh, we're pulling! Okay, I think this was pretty good. Let's have a look. 15.341? Oh, damn it, I've been in the 15.2s already. Like, seriously, I'm not kidding. So I probably short shifted my first gear. But also this tune is technically based on the road, not for this drag specific events. But nevertheless, there we go, guys. I do hope that this video helped you all out. You will find the share code once again in the comments or in the description, and you guys gonna let me know if you can find something better for it, then I can update the tune for other people as well. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. If you did find it educational, informative, helpful, or whatsoever, please make sure to drop a big like. If you would love to support the channel, especially if you're new, hit the logo at the bottom right corner to subscribe. If you want to see a similar video, hit the icon on the left. If you want to see one of my most recent videos, hit the icon on the right, and then I'll see all of you legends in my next video. But for now, peace out everyone.